battle between first and second. I don't think these three are going to get any closer. It's too far of a gap. It's 3 seconds. So it's between Veda and Richie. Who can hold their nerve? For now, Zen lead just a few corners. Richie, he looks pretty confident.
Dalam perlombaan nampak masih lagi peningkatan dilakukan oleh Pratama. Semalam sewaktu perlombaan menggunakan tayar kering, mereka melakukan mereka dalam perlombaan dengan tayar basah semalam yang dilakukan. Itu balik keadaan gitar yang kering menggunakan tayar 26 saat yang dilakukan oleh Veda Pratama.
Well, it's a conservative tire, and he's still fast at the end, so he's going to see the car just clear to Richie. So Veda just has to keep his cool and get his victory. But now Zen, he goes aggressive. He's trying to retake his podium position, but for now he goes a bit wide. So he this group. But it's going to get really tough as they come for the last few turns later on.
Sekarang ini adalah milik Odaki yang masih berada tempat yang ketiga, tapi Ditani berada rapat di belakang dan keluar. Oh, itu dia. Hilang grip di hadapan. Oh, dan tayar kiri dan
Or the rear gave way, couldn't really see, but the rain is starting to come again in the final lap. Let's see what happened here. He turns into turn 6, just gets on the gas, starts to hit the apex, and the second it gets on, boom, the rear's gone. The rear's completely gone, and that's a wild crash, but it's good to see that he's okay after this crash. The grip is already getting sketchy.
Ya, mereka perlu menjaga tayar sekarang ini untuk sampai ke gasan penamat Veda Pratama dengan catatan terpangkat sebelum ini tadi 2:23.808. Tapi nampak dia jauh di depan sekarang. Kita agak nampak hujan dan sampai agak jauh kali ini bagi Veda Pratama memenangi perlombaan pertamanya bagi musim 2023-4 antara dua pelumba Jepun di belakang yang berada di depan.
Telling Cup in third place from Japan, Zen Mitani. Second place, Richie Takehira, also from Japan. And your race winner, Veda Pratama from Indonesia, the rising star. You can see proud faces looking onto the podium. Takehira, Veda Pratama putting on an amazing...
Is Jack Appleyard here?
I mean, the green flag has been waved. I mean, we're going to get underway here, but make his way throughout the final corner shortly. Lights are on, we're about to get underway.
Lights are on, and we are about to get underway here in race 2 at Motegi. The one of Azaru who's got the best start, Adaki, not today, but it is the number 2 of Mitani who will take the whole shot into turn 1. We are on the first corner, around the second corner, they battling with the pole sitter, Adaki, the number 14, didn't get away with back straight. Very well here, here's the number 14, let's touch race over from here.
The feeling that just getting to the checkered flag is going to be a result. Of course, we've got 20 wide in towards turn number 5. Shinya Izawa, the man. Let's keep an eye on our Cup Championship leader at the moment. Pratama down in 6. He's not been able to make any progress so far on this opening half a lap.
Impressive so far. We're going to watch the highlights, and there was plenty of them here in race 2. This was the race start. Adaki on pole position, number 14, didn't get away too well initially, but tucked himself into the slipstream down into turn 1 and immediately hit the front. And from there on in, it was a fascinating battle for the lead and for the podium positions. First couple of corners, first couple of laps were all about the riders at the front. Unfortunately for Takehira, crashing on the sighting lap and then going down on the opening lap of the race. A Sunday to forget for the rider, second in the overall standings. That was Marianos Nicholas, the 16-year-old Australian, taking his double long lap penalty. He would end up inside the points. But it was all about the battle at the front. Pratama picking his way through the pack nicely after keeping his powder dry in the opening exchanges. That was his eventual race-winning move, and this is where it all came down to. Pratama versus Adaki at turn 11. Drama unfolding. Thankfully, we can report Adaki walked away from the incident. Pratama well on his way to 40-point lead in the championship standings. A double race victory for the number 7 Indonesian, and next up is his home round in Indonesia alongside the Grand Prix paddock once more. Double victory for Pratama here in Japan. We will see you for more in a couple of weeks' time.
I'm a second at the opening round. At the opening, what an advantage to hold before Super Mario Aji. Here it is on the final lap then. just look at this. From how far back does Ayman Adaki come? You think there's no chance he's going to squeeze up the inside there, and then last minute he thinks, go on then, let's shove it up the inside, and so he does. At this point here, there's no chance he's getting it stopped, but somehow, despite the front end buffeting away, chattering away, he does run a little bit wide and leaves the door open. But it was a good move. Then the contact was made with Adaki going down. Race direction saying racing incident, which will put a smile on his face. We saw the face of Ayman Adaki trackside, slapping his glove on the arm coat. Less than pleased. You can official confirmation then. Victory number 3 of 2023 for Veda Pratama.
I am. I'm excited to make a glorious and brief return. Yeah, we know we have a lot of you watching. Your home here. Seriously impressed this.
Getting an absolute warm welcome. It could be for me, actually. Yeah, you're probably right, Fran. It's probably for me, but no, it will be for the poll this weekend, including 2 Indonesian wildcards. But the grand 2. And it was Pratama once again starting from pole position, and just like he did in race 1, got a perfect launch, grabbed the whole shot, but unlike race 1, no one really saw which way he went. The number 14 of Adaki got away decently and was up to second, passing Fuetazan, the number 20, down into turn 10 on the opening lap. Crashed down at turn 12, unfortunately, for one of the riders. Adaki was making his way up to second place and tried to get his head down, but the likes of Matani was making life difficult. Adaki made a mistake. There it is. Well, just after at turn 16, that was Adaki coming out of turn 17, and unfortunately that cost Adaki any chance of going with Pratama like he did in race 1, and then it all came down to a fight for the podium places. That was the wildcard rider of Alma, unfortunately crashing out down at turn 1. An unfortunate end to a brilliant weekend for Alma. That's what happened to Takahira down at turn 16. A rider who, of course, was once in title contention, still might be, but he's got a long uphill climb to go to catch Veda Pratama. Pratama crossed the line to take victory, a double victory on home soil. What a weekend it has been for the number 7. This is what happened coming out the final corner. Adaki and Matani going elbow to elbow, and it was the Japanese rider of Matani beating his compatriot by 17 1/pounds of a second to claim the podiums. Adaki happy but a little bit disappointed with P3, but it is all about Veda Pratama in 2023. A perfect weekend on home soil. We will see you in Thailand.
Incredible stuff from all those guys then, and like we said, a lot closer to the win today than they were yesterday.
Ended out the top 10 with Al Sahuti, Ramadipa, the Indonesian wildcard, Chessie Melandri. Indonesian flag waving there in the foreground, and it is time now for the Indian Ayman Adaki, the 2023.
Absolutely blasting out, fantastic. Just like the Dutch national anthem is now becoming synonymous with Formula 1, you feel that the Indonesian national anthem now becoming synonymous with the Asia Talent Cup. The good news is, Veda Pratama's riding is a lot better than his choice of sunglasses.
It certainly is. Here's race 2 highlights then from the Chang International Circuit. Pratama launching away well from pole position, just as he did yesterday. Fuetazan off the front row, launched it into P2 early doors, and it was line astern as you were down the back straight on the opening few laps. It was getting very, very busy on the opening few laps. Plenty of riders all in the lead group, all fighting for the podium positions and the race lead. This was the opening lap down at turn 3. We saw plenty of ongoings down there at turn 3. This is down into turn 12. Fuetazan on the number 20, trying to lead the way in the early exchanges. A little bit of contact there on the exit for Fuetazan. Didn't disrupt his rhythm too much though, but the lead was changing lap by lap, corner by corner. Down at turn 3, once again, several lines, and this was the incident that nearly saw Adaki go out of the race. The number 14 and the number 7 were toe-to-toe all the way through. That was into the fast turn 4, the left-hander. Adaki leading the way from Pratama, Fuetazan, Juara in the lead group, Matani in the lead group. All the lead contenders in the title chase were battling away. Unfortunately, this is what happened on the exit of turn 7. Watch the second bike on your screen there, Matani, a high side out of second place, and unfortunately the number 21 of Azara didn't have anywhere to go and then collected the stricken motorcycle. Both riders have been reported okay. They're in the medical centre having a checkup, but this was turn 12, the final corner of the final lap. Pratama expertly done, Marc Marquez-esque at the final corner to win his 6th race of the season. Adaki and Partizan standing on the podium, but as we head to Malaysia, it is all about one rider. The number one, we will see you in a couple of weeks at the...
Off place, misses out on the podium here once again, this time by only a 10th of a second. Further down, points going finishes, the Russo, Marco Melandri's brother there in 14th, picking up 2 points.
11 points between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Partizan, Adaki.
Both incredible, of course. And yeah, Pratama has scorer.
Here's your highlights then for the final race of the season. Pratama, for the 4th time this year, started from pole position, as he so often does. Got a great launch to grab the whole shot into turn 1. And as we saw yesterday, very quickly it became a lead group of 3. But the chasers did stick around for a little bit more time than they did in race 1 before the top 2 of Pratama and Ogiwara broke clear. The fight for the podium went down to the wire. For a large part of it, it was between these two, Ozawa and Adaki, the 2 Japanese riders. This was the fight for the race win though. Pratama looking for his 9th win of the season, Ogiwara looking for his 1st. This was on the final lap between the chasers for the final spot on the podium. Takahira diving up the inside, a great move, 2-for-1 move down at turn 12. And then this, in fact, was the last lap down at turn 1. 3 riders all fighting it out for the podium. Adaki, Ozawa and Takahira. This, though, was the final corner between the race leader of Pratama and Ogiwara in 2nd place. Ogiwara thought about a lunge up the inside, didn't quite prevail this time around, and Pratama just about held it to the line to win his 9th race of the season. Ogiwara finished at a close 2nd, and in the end, a 3rd place for Adaki on the number 14 handed him 2nd in the overall standings. What a 2 races we've had, what a season we've had in the Age Talent Cup. Pratama holds the number 1 finger up in the air. He is the number 1 in 2023. Thank you for tuning in this year. It's been a belter. We will see you around the corner. Bye for now.
Andre completing the point scorers here in race 2 at the Qatar Airways Grand Prix in the Cup this season.